All right, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Wab Rum. You're back with another lesson, Lord willing, and be edifying. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahawah Kakodash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord you see on the highways and byways, prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, also in the correct doctrine. I want to send a shalom to the 1/3 men, women, and children that will escape the judgments of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai by their faith. Just got another lesson I want to bring out through the Spirit of the Lord, man. As you see, tensions and war is all that's on the news right now. And we know that this is coming close to the end of this man's kingdom, because the last final war, the Battle of Armageddon, will be in our lifetime, man. And you're seeing the beginnings of this war basically come to pass. So let's get right into it.
Macron suggested that French nuclear weapons be placed on the borders of Russia, and now Macron and Keir Starmer of the British say they don't need permission to put troops in Ukraine. 5 countries, Canada, France, New Zealand, Australia, and Britain, are now ready to put troops in Ukraine. And these aren't peacekeeping troops. Putin has already said that if any NATO troops enter Ukraine, this is a full-on war with NATO, which obviously leads to World War III. NATO's leader, Mark Rutte, has already said NATO is not involved. And if these countries do this, they're on their own if Russia retaliates. With the US also saying that if they do this, they're on their own. And the Germans, who by the way just upgraded their military to levels since World War II, are also open to troops in Ukraine. Putin fired back at Macron, saying that people forget history, and saying that the last time France was in Russia, it didn't go so well. Now, these European troops would not be in the areas on the front line, but instead would fall back to allow for more Ukrainians to enter the front lines, adding manpower. So, should Europe help Ukraine with boots on the ground, or is that escalating it too far?
See, there you have it. So they're building up the tensions and the war talk, which is just wars and rumors of wars. But eventually, the talk is going to stop, and the nations are going to fight. And we know Russia is going to be a big player in the Battle of Armageddon, which is going to destroy Babylon the Great at that time. So you're seeing the EU and the NATO nations basically coming against Russia, basically provoking them to fight, man, because they're gonna put troops in the Ukraine, and you just know it that they're gonna do it, because they want to push the limits to see if Putin is going to budge, man, and see if he's going to really move his hand. And we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because it's written, that he is going to move. Now here is this video here, as sides are being picked by the nations. You're going to see that the strategic moves that Babylon is making is to stir up the Middle East totally, man. It's to get every nation ready to fight. And here we go, man, because them going against Yemen and the propaganda they use about that nation is to stir up the other nations to fight, man. Because Yemen is a nation, man, just like Babylon is. But they use they make it seem like the army is just some separate army from the government, man. They call them Houthis, rebels, and different shit like that. But that's their government, man. And they want to say that Iran is backing the Houthis, but that's their government, man. The country of Yemen, the Houthis is their army, man. But they make it seem like it's separated, man. That's how they use their media. Which, if you don't know that, you would think that the Houthi rebels is a total different government. I mean, a totally different group from the government, like Hamas. But they use the media to make people think a different way about nations and people and countries. That's the whole point of the media, to demonize you or to build you up. Now check this video out.
So the next story I have for you is about Saudi Arabia and Yemen. And as you know, Donald Trump got airstrikes going to Yemen, and they pummeled the shit out of it. 31 people unalived, hundreds others injured, and the airstrikes just happened last night. There you go. Look at that. But you saw how close Yemen was to Saudi Arabia And here's where the report begins. Saudi Arabia is not buying arms from the United States anymore. They got a $6 billion with Turkey. Yeah, Turkey's going to supply them with naval ships, airplanes, drones, and other field assets needed for the protection of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And this was just in the works in February, as you can see in the article. But guess when it's all going to wrap up? This is out of a trade magazine, out of military. And so they're going to finalize the deal in March. Where are we? In March. Isn't it interesting that when the United States wants to put a deal together to sell arms, if you don't buy arms from them, they bomb the shit out of your neighbor. And this is a tactic that's been used in Libya, Syria. And the part I want to close with is that when Donald Trump was being elected, he was known as the peace president. Remember? Peace president. He said it a few times, and he got elected based on that. But not even 60 days into his presidency, he's pummeling Yemen and now can't sell arms to Saudi Arabia. And there you have it.
And see, that's another way that Trump is losing jobs, because when these nations want to buy weapons, they come to Babylon, man. And see, that's going to take away jobs from an economy as well, man, because this is the economy is a war-based economy. When there's no war, Babylon can't make no money, man, because the goods that we serve is missiles, bombs, tanks, and all that type of shit, man. Planes. Now that you see that Saudi Arabia is getting their weapons from another country, which is Turkey, they're gonna lose a lot of money behind that, because Saudi Arabia have usually got their weapons from America, and now they're switching into getting it from another country. That's going to take away from this country, man. Now, the small hat has also been bombing the Strip. You can't really say that, you know what I'm saying, the name of the place anymore. They're bombing the Strip. And I think the unalive, right here, this article right here, it says the death toll Israel strikes against, you see it, yesterday now stands at 413 and is expected to rise in the coming days. So they're bombing without any sense of any retaliation against them. It says the PM Netanyahu office declares that Israel will from now on act against Hamas with increasing military strength. So they're not holding back anymore, man. And the Lord is just stirring them up to get them to fight. And that's what we're going into, man. The Battle of Armageddon, World War III, as we would say in this time. Now check this out.
Breaking news coming out in the past couple of hours, as we have heard that things have erupted in the Middle East. We are hearing that the United States is preparing for potential conflict, even war with Iran. Warnings are being issued back and forth. And in the past couple of hours as well, we've heard that Israel has broken the ceasefire with Gaza. Attacks are taking place. As we're hearing, the hostages are not being released. A deal has fallen apart. And also there is conflict all throughout the Middle East. We're hearing Iraq, Syria, Iran, all over, Yemen, and the United States is saying the Houthi rebel attacks that have been taking place in the Red Sea. Well, now the United States is striking back and saying the Houthi rebels are funded by Iran, and they will be holding Iran directly accountable for this. And like I said, we're expecting things to escalate. Now, let me share with you the latest headlines that have been coming out in the past couple of hours so that way you can see them for yourself today, March 17th, 2025. Take a look. Let me pull this up here 1 second. Trump sights set on Iran after U.S. airstrikes decimate more than 30 Houthi targets. So Trump is focused on Iran. Trump warns Iran will be held responsible for Houthi attacks from Yemen. So Trump says Iran will be held directly responsible. The U.S. president has threatened Iran while the Pentagon vows overwhelming lethal force against the Houthis in Yemen. Iran now threatens back the United States with devastating response. You can see this coming out today. Trump says Iran will suffer dire consequences for any more Houthi attacks. The Houthi responded by claiming a third attack in 48 hours, and ceasefires as well over as Israel strikes Gaza after Hamas refused to release hostages, officials have said. So, like I said, a lot unfolding here in the past couple of hours. Today, March 17th, 2025, we are hearing things are erupting in the Middle East. I'm going to play for you the latest video footage so that way you can see it for yourself, as we are hearing things are just erupting in the Middle East. And let me know your thoughts. Are we about to enter into war with Iran? United States and Iran going back and forth, as you saw in the headlines, threatening one another, and we're hearing things are escalating significantly. Do you think that we're about to enter?
And we're definitely about to enter into World War III, man. That's why the Lord told us to watch as well as pray. Because these things that we're preaching about, or prophesying about, are coming to pass. And they're going to come to pass in our lifetime. And this thing is about to pop, man. So the Lord has it. He stirred the nations up. And this month away, let me say this. This month also is March, which is that's one of the gods they worship is March, the god of war. So it's kind of a coincidence that everything is starting to pick back up in the Middle East in the month of March. So we're here. And it's going to take one major event to happen for all hell to break loose, man. And we know that the MOTB still has to come, but the Lord is bringing it to the tipping point of nuclear destruction. And then he's going to introduce that chip. So we're seeing the prophecies unfold just as the scriptures say they would, man. So let's get this right here. Let's start in 2nd Ezra 4. And let me start at verse. I want to start at verse. Hold on, let me get back to it. 2nd Ezra 4. I was going to start up earlier, but I'm going to start here. If you go to the top, you'll read about the angel, the ark. Here you go, right here. Let me start at verse 30. Damn, I need to start up early. Let me start here. 36. And unto these things Uriel, the archangel, gave them answer, and said, even when the number of the seas is filled in you, for he hath weighed the world in the balance. By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and doeth not move nor stir them until the said measure be filled. So we come into all the prophecies being fulfilled, and then this World War III is going to happen, man. The Battle of Armageddon. And the archangel told him plainly to Ezra, the Lord weighs everything in the balance, man. Everything is done on his time, man. Nothing is going to be done without the Lord moving his hand, man. So we know that we're very, very close for the Lord to bring judgment on Esau, Edom. Because World War III is the same exact time Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to crack the clouds, man. They go hand in hand. World War III, Yahweh Shah coming back. Nuclear missiles are shot off. It goes hand in hand, man. So we here. This ain't a time for partying and bullshit, hanging out, taking vacations. No, this is really the time to really get really serious about this truth, man. Because we're not going to have a second chance to get it right. It's only going to be one time that these events happen in the world, man. And we want to be saved by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and not receive the judgment of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. This is Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 8. It says, a time to love, a time to hate. And you can see the spirit of the people as a time to hate, man. I just had posted a video on my IG where a woman shot her boyfriend, was 24 years old, over breakfast food, man. Over breakfast. her cooking breakfast and turned around and I guess he ate it or whatever. I don't know. But he killed her, man. It was a Jake. She killed him, shot him right in the chest. So we're in a time of hate, man, and also a time of war. See that? We also in a time of war. It goes hand in hand, a time of hate and a time of war. And there's no peace coming, man. They might say it, and the scripture tell you they're going to say it. Peace and safety, then sudden destruction is going to come, man. This is a time of war and a time of peace. And we know we're definitely not in a time of peace, man. That is not in the earth. The spirit of peace is not in the earth, man. And Trump said he was a peacetime president. So we know that these prophecies are man, popping like popcorn, man. And if you're not in tune with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you don't have a clue what's going on, man. You just a Israelite here wandering in the world, man, thinking everything is okay. To the point you're gonna get a judgment that you didn't want to receive, man, from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. This is Joel 3 in verse 9. It says, proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war. See that? This is what all the nations are doing, man. Even if they're not in the news. North Korea ain't been in the news. They're preparing for war. These other nations, Libya and Ethiopia, all those nations are preparing for war, man. You might not think they are, but they are. Because it's all that's being talked about now. War, getting weapons. That's all that's being talked about, man. And this is the Lord stirring up the world for this judgment that he's going to bring on it, man. Proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near. See that? Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's the spirit the Lord's put on these smaller nations, man. All the nations in Africa, they ready to fight, man. They feel that they are able to come against Babylon the Great, man. You see that Trump been able to bully people, bully the nations, but now that hedge of demonic protection that it has ran out, man. That luster of being the biggest and the baddest and the strongest, that is wore off, man. The image is wore off. The power the Lord gave them has worn off, man. Now the nations believe that they can take Babylon down, man. They believe they can come against her. And the Lord has given them the mind to. Now they have the same technology, or not better technology, to come and fight. So we are in those times that the nations are ready to fight, man. They're ready to come against Babylon the Great, man. 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen and gather yourselves together round about. Hither cause thy mighty ones to come down, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, the valley of judgment, man. For there will I set to judge all the heathen round about. And see, the Lord is setting everything up for the judgment on these heathens, man. And the men of the Lord are telling you to your face, man, that Babylon is going down. The other nations are going to be judged. They're going to go into captivity as well as the Edomites. And the heathen nations are going to go into captivity as well, man. And we're telling you, this is all what the Lord has put on our spirit to do, is tell the nations that their end is coming, man. And when Babylon goes against Iran, that's it for them, man. That's it. That's a nail in the coffin. The Lord is going to bring judgment on them, man. That's the end of Esau's reign. That's the end of his kingdom. And he'll never be in power again. And we're telling you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because the Lord is speaking through us to bring these lessons out, these epistles out, because this is faithful and true, man. This is going to happen, man. There's no way around it. There's no way to get out of this judgment that's coming. It says, put in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come and get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great, man. See, the wickedness of the earth is great. All over the earth, man. None but wickedness. Especially here in Babylon the Great, man. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is near in the valley of decision. See that? Them going against Iran, that shows you the Lord is near. This shows you that the Lord is near. Them making a decree to go against the Iranians, which is the ancient Persians, this shows you the Lord is near, man. He's not 10, 20, 30 years away, man. If they go against Iran tomorrow, the Lord's coming very soon, man. The Lord is coming very soon. And we know all the prophecies that need to come. We're waiting on the last two major ones. But we know that them going and making a decree to go against them to fight shows you that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is close. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall not withdraw their and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake. But Yahweh Bashem Yahushua will be the hope of his people. See that? That's why we prophesy in his word, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is our hope. This is what's written. This is what's written, man. But Yahweh Bashem Yahushua will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. See that? We don't have an army. We don't have no fight in this World War III. This is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's vengeance, man. This is where the Lord is going to pay the nations back, man. That's why it says he's going to sit to judge the people, the nations. And the Lord is on our side, man. He's clearly telling you that. So Jake, I'm gonna get these guns. I'm gonna get them. Why would you need that, man? You don't have any faith. The Lord said he's going to be the hope of his people and our strength. So we don't need to get any weapons and all that shit, man. We have a power like no other, man. He is coming from on high. So why would you try to get some carnal weapons in Babylon the Great, man? You're going to be destroyed, man, because your faith is not in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Your faith is not in the word. You're not leaning on the Lord. You're leaning on your own will. And see, only the elect are going to receive this information, man. They're the only ones going to receive the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. 2/3 are going to have to understand it after death by pain. And the Lord is moving these nations and these leaders in the way he wants them to go, because we are very close to the battle of Armageddon. This is Proverbs 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. As the rivers of water, he turneth it so whithersoever he will. So them getting ready to go to war. Trump telling Iran, if the Houthis attack our nation again, we're going to come against you. This is all the Lord using these nations to get ready to fight, man. Even the nations, the EU nations, are telling America, we want the Statue of Liberty back. Give us the Statue of Liberty back. This is all the Lord will, man. We see it happen, man. This is all spiritual. Because once this happens, you're going to see the prophecy came to pass just like we prophesied it, man. He says every way of man, every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but Yahweh Bashem Yahushua pondereth the hearts. See, Esau, well, Trump think, well, he's doing the right thing by going against the Iranians, because the small hatters told him to do it. Russia, same way. Putin is getting the spirit of fight now. The EU nations, France, Britain, Germany, they want to send troops into the Ukraine, man. All of this is prepared by the Lord, man. Put it in their minds to do His will, because the Lord got a great sacrifice for them, and that's what's going to happen, man. And that's very, very soon, man. This is Jeremiah, and I'm gonna start in verse 51. Jeremiah 51 and 53. Jeremiah 51 and 53. Let me get to it. It says, Though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify her height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And Babylon is America, man, which means Babal, confusion, which is Babal in the Hebrew, confusion. And the Lord it knows that the heights that they've reached. They've got a strong nation, an army, weapons, nuclear weapons. And the Lord has built them up to think that they can never come down, man. Though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she shall fortify her height of her strength, see, they're great in power, man. All the nations are fearful of Babylon the Great. Yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, says Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. A sound of a cry cometh from Babylon, and a great destruction from the land of the Chaldees. And that's what's coming to Babylon the Great, man. Once they enter into this war with Persia, destruction is coming upon it. Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have spoiled Babylon and destroyed out of her great voice when her waves do roar like great waters, and noise of her voice is uttered. Because of the spoilers is come upon her, even upon Babylon. And the spoilers are other nations, man, that the Lord is going to send against her. And her mighty men are taken, meaning her soldiers, every one of their bows, it's like every one of their bows is broken. See, a lot of America's weaponry is not going to work, man. The Lord is going to stop their weaponry from working. He's going to break their bows, man, and missiles and it's going to fall into the hands of the Lord, man. They think, well, we got this and we got that no one can come against us. And the Lord is going to have the angels work against Babylon, man. There's several cases that happened in the ancient world, man. When the Egyptians came against us, the angels were shooting their tires out and shit, shooting their wheels out. Same thing is going to happen against Babylon the Great, man. They're going to think that they're going to go against these nations and fight, and a lot of their weaponry, tanks and shit is going to get destroyed, man. And the angels are going to do a lot of judgment in the war as well, man. Before their ultimate war, before their ultimate missiles the ultimate build up for the missiles happen, man. There's going to be little skirmishes happening before the missiles are shot off. He says, because the spoilers has come upon her, even upon Babylon, and her mighty men are taken, every one of their bows is broken. For Yahweh Bashem Yahushua power of recompense shall surely requite. Let me get this in another translation, man. So the Lord is going to do this, man. The Lord is going to fully pay them back, man. New Living Translation says, destroying armies come against Babylon. See that? Destroying armies. And that's what's coming against them, man. Russia, China, the Persians. All these nations are going to be the destroying army against her. Destroying armies come against Babylon. Her mighty men are captured. See that? A lot of these troops, man, are not going to come back, man. But none of them going to come back. I'm just saying. A lot of them going to be devastated over there in the Middle East. And their weapons broken in their hands. See that? Their weapons are not going to work, man. Their tanks and fighter jets and shit, they're not going to work, man. The Lord is truly against Babylon, man. For Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is a power who gives just punishment. See that? They've been able to do all this judgment on other nations and people. Now that it's going to come back on them. The Lord is a balanced power, man. And Esau never put this to mind, man. He never put this to his mind to think the Lord is going to be against him or the Lord was ever going to come back. He always repays in full. See that? The Lord always repays in full. Good News Translation says, they have come to destroy Babylon. And that's plain, man. Its soldiers are captured and their bows are broken. I am power who punishes evil. See that? And what the small hatters over there doing? The Lord is going to punish, man. Nobody gets away. That's the point, man. Nobody gets away with evil. I am a power who punishes evil and will treat Babylon as it deserves. So they was able to destroy these small nations, kill 3,400, 50, 90. Just numbers of people, I just called out. But yeah, man, they was able to destroy it and they have nobody to come against them, man. So now, at their fall, the other nations are going to come against them, man. And they're not going to have anyone to help. Let me get back to it. Let me drop down to verse 62. This is verse 62. It says, Then shall thou say, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, thou shalt speak, thou hast spoken against this place to cut it off, that none shall remain in it. And that's what is going to happen to Babylon. No, nothing is going to remain here. Nobody's going to remain here, man. Neither man nor beast, but that it shall be desolate forever. That's the point, man. For what they're going to get paid back for all the things that they've done in the earth, man. They're going to get paid back for everything they have done in the earth. And this is the will of the Lord, man. This is Jeremiah 49, and drop down to verse 20. It says, Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that he have taken against Edom. See that he has taken against Edom. And his purpose that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. And see, Esau is running the globe, man. All those EU nations, NATO nations are running by Edomites, man. It's all ran by Edomites. We always speak about the Babylonian Edomites, but the France nation ran by Edomites. Germany, you can go Russia. All these nations are ran by Edomites, man. So this is the judgment against Edom and against Slakia and his purpose that he had purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And see who's drawing them out? The small hatters, man. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. See that? Their habitation is going to be desolate with them, man. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. And see, when these missiles are pelting the earth, you're going to hear these missiles, man, way off, man. At the cry of the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. See that? Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of women in her prayings. See, they're going to be terrified, man. Because he never shot one of these missiles off. He don't know the devastation it's going to bring. But the Lord's going to put on their spirit, man, to shoot those missiles off. So the Lord said their hearts are going to be like women that are sick, in a terrible case. Let me get the word prayings. But I'm going to get another labor. And prayings is labor. A woman in labor. Birth pains. But let me get it anyway. Let's see if it's another definition for prayings. As a woman in prayings. Let me get it. A sudden sharp pain or painful emotion. That's a prayings. Like a woman in pregnancy, man. New Living, it says, look, the enemy swooped down like an eagle spreading his wings over Basra. And this is modern day Basra, man, Babylon the Great. It says, even the mightiest warriors will be in anguish like a woman in labor. See that? Like a woman, they're going to be terrified in pain, man. See the judgment the Lord is going to bring on it, man. Good News Translation, he said the enemy will attack Basra. And that's Babylon the Great we're speaking of. Like an eagle swooped down with outspread wings. On that day, so that day is coming very soon, man. Edom's soldiers will be as frightened as a woman in labor. Man, man, man. But this is his lot, man. This is his judgment, man. And we supposed to pay attention, man. You are the hopeful elect. We supposed to be looking at these things that's coming up on the earth, man. Because the Lord set us up as watchmen, and we watch for the flock, man. That's what these lessons are, back to warn our nation, which is the elect, of what's coming, man. And it will be fulfilled in our lifetime, man. Not 10, 20, 30, 40 years, another generation come, and you have other prophets that's prophesying. No, man, it's going to come in our time, in our lifetime, man. This is Mark 13. Drop down to verse 30. Not verse 30. It says, verily I say unto you, that this generation shall not pass. See that? This generation is not going to pass, man. So you see the build up of war talk, and then it dies down. It's going to happen one day, and it's not going to be talk, man. A nation is going to strike, and it's going to be on and popping from there. Verily I say unto you, that this generation shall not pass till all these things be done. See that? Until all these things be done. And we hear all the prophecies are pretty much fulfilled, man. You know, a couple other ones that we see this happening. The MOTB, Jacob's trouble, all these things, that the plagues coming back up on Egypt. All these is already here, man. It's happening right now. It intensifies. It says, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. See that? The Lord's word is not going to pass away. It's going to be fulfilled. He says, but that day but of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. He says, take ye heed, watch and pray. And that's what we're doing, man. Watching and praying. It says, for ye know not when the time is. See that? We don't know when the time is, but we see the prophecies coming to pass. That's how we know what the time is, man. How close we are. We're watching as well as praying, man. So I'm going to end it there. Lord, when it was edifying. Shalom. Shalom.